Hey everyone, welcome back to Carnage Comics. I'm Adam, and this is The Pull. And the Pull review. So last week I had so many books, I wasn't able to read them fast enough, so I'm going to do a quick review, just a quick run through of the books that I got, telling you just a quick little snippet about them, and then we'll move on to what I actually got this week. Absolute Powers 1 and 2. And so you got 1, 2, great books, and Mark Waid is an amazing writer. In this, the superheroes lose their power and they're trying to fight back. A lot that goes on in these, but really excited to see that continue. Geiger number 5, one of my favorite issues of Geiger, probably one of my pick of the week. And in this, he's fighting the electrician and he's fighting to get his dog back, and he prevails in the end. But you find out there's a cabal that's kind of after him. Then we've got Transformers number 11. In this one, you get Alita and RC kind of have this confrontation, and I really like it because it's the two female Transformers, and they're kind of similar, so this gives them some personality and some differences, and you get to learn a little bit about them. Also, you get Ultra Magus, who gets repaired, and then he's brought to the fight, and he's been tortured for years, and so he shows up at the end to try to help the Transformers, the Autobots, and he's got PTSD and he runs. So excited to see what happens with him. Then we've got issue number 2 of X-Men by Jed MacKay. And this one was really cool. You get a new mutant and he believes there's an alien force after him. In reality, it's just his own powers working against him. And basically they save him, and they're going to figure out why his powers stayed latent for so long. But the one really cool part in this was Juggernaut gets fired out of a cannon, like a human cannon. Just a really cool page. And Ryan Stegman is an amazing artist. He's one of my favorites for sure. Next up, we have Uncanny X-Men number 1. I really love this. It was Rogue's point of view, so you get to hear kind of her inner monologue, and you get to hear with how she's dealing with the fallout of Krakoa and the idea of taking up the head lead of the X-Men. Hulk number 15. The art in this was awesome. You get Aldis talking about her background with the broken son and her previous experience with him, and just really good. Finally, we've got Scarlet, issue number 3. So she dives into the fortress in issue 2. Issue 3, she actually lands in an aquarium. She swims down. She gets to the basement, and she kind of fights her way down through the basement where she's disabling this security, and then she finds her way back over to the other building, which was the security for in the basement of the one building was for the other. She gets over there and meets back up with Jinx, and you find out that Cobra is involved. So really interested to see how this continues and how they actually tie it in with the rest of the G.I. Joe universe. So that's the review. Let's get into the actual poll now with what I got here. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into it. First up, I've got Something Crawled Out. This was a free comic book from my store, and it has the description on the back here, and it sounds really good, but it's a really thick comic book. I'm excited to read it. Just looks really interesting. The art's just kind of so-so, but who doesn't love a good free comic book, right? Next up, I've got Dark Knights of Steel All Winter. Jay Kristoff, as I've mentioned before, is one of my favorite writers in fantasy, so I'm really excited to read this. There's a sexy page here in the beginning. I don't know who that is, but yeah. Black Label, love Black Label, DC stuff. And then there's, of course, the backup story here by Tom Taylor, The Heir to the Sea, which has to do with Atlantis and the Kents and the Waynes, and so we'll see how that continues. So moving on, we've got Deadpool number 5, and I'm pretty sure there's a big battle scene in this, and if you know anything about the announcements that Marvel has made, I won't spoil it, but I guess you can guess what's probably going to happen in this. I know I can. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't show this because I think it'll spoil something. If you're not up with the announcements, at least it'll spoil something. Alright, next up we've got Namor number 2. Really excited to see what Jason Aaron does with this character and this story. I think there's a first appearance of somebody in this. This might be a key issue here. but whatever. Next up, we have Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man number 8. I've heard this is a build-up story. Just a lot of talking, it looks like. Not any action in here. So, but it'll probably lead up to something really cool. Love that Iron Man's in this. At the end of the last issue, Iron Man shows up. So, I'm not reading the Ultimates, but hopefully I don't have to know what's going on in that. Okay, now I picked up a couple books that weren't on my pull list that just looked really cool. And it's Wolverine Revenge and Wolverine Revenge Red Label or Red Band. And I probably won't read the Red Band, which is kind of stupid. They put it in this poly bag and it's sealed, and if you want to keep it mint, you're not going to be able to open it. Maybe I should have gotten 2 of them instead of the regular issue, but I've heard it's just a little bit more gruesome and gory, so it is what it is. So, oh man, look at that. I got 2 Dark Knights of Steel all winter. Well, it looks like I'm specking on that book. Don't you love when that happens? Yeah. Anyway. Moving on. Next up, we've got Epitaphs from the Abyss. And if you watched the last poll, you know I wasn't wild about this. And the art continues just kind of to be so-so. Not great art, but the stories were good enough. I'm really excited to see the stories in this. So I got, this is the variant cover. I'll show that off a little bit better. Variant cover there. And then we've got, there you go, issue cover A. Both of these covers actually are amazing. I think I like cover A actually a little bit more, but there's something about cover B, this variant, that is just terrifying. So, really cool stuff. All right, so let's get into our back issues. We got a couple really cool back issues here. First up, we've got Spawn number 10. So, I don't know what's going on in this. It's got this one color band, and then the rest of it is colorless. I thought this was a variant, but if you look it up, this is the actual issue. And yeah, so just filling in that Spawn run, right? Next up, I got another X-Force. I've got X-Force number 25. This was a $4 book. Not an expensive book, but it's got that cool hologram on it, and it's of Cable, and I think these holograms are cool. So it's the first one I've ever gotten, and for $4, why not, right? Okay. The next book I got, this one's really cool. This is Batman number 497. This is the issue where Bane breaks Batman's back. And I'm actually going to open this up and we'll take a look at a couple pages. Oh wow, I just tore off. Okay. There we go. Flip that up. Wow. Really good condition. Show that off a little bit. Try not to fold it too much. And find the page. This is like mint condition, this book. I know it's not a rare book, otherwise it wouldn't be $12, but a cool book all the same. Iconic cover, there we go. And there's the page right there. Really excited to get this. Just loved it. It's I got a copy of this now in my collection. So that is the one cool issue I got here at the very end, and that is the poll, guys. So thanks for checking this out. If you could comment, like, subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Thanks for swinging by. Catch you in the next one.